Hello everyone, and in this video we are going to discuss about form validation. So I have a simple Bootstrap form and we will validate this form through JavaScript. So first of all we have an ID for the form, and then we have ID for every element, every input field. So the first name and the last name ID, the email ID and the password ID. So we will get all these elements by the IDs and we will validate it. So let's start. So let's first select the elements. So let my form is equal to document dot get element by ID, and the ID of the form is my form. Now let's get the first name. So let my first name. So first name is equal to document dot get element by ID, which is the first name. And now let's say last name. So last name and get element by ID and the last name. Now let's get the email. So get element by ID, which is the email. And now let's get the password. So password and get element by ID, which is the password. So now let's add an event to this form. So when we submit this form, then you can see it refreshes the page and reload this page again. So now let's add an event to it. So my form dot add event listener, and the event will be submit. So when we submit the form, then we will do something here. So first of all we need to pass here something. So event, and here we will write event dot prevent default, so that we prevent the default behavior so that I don't reload the page. So now if we submit it, it will not refresh the page. And if I write here alert form submitted, so now submit and you can see the alert. So now let's remove this alert, and you can remove this. Yeah, this is an arrow function, so we can remove it for a single one. So now let's select the first name. So we will check it. So first name. So if first name dot value double is equal to empty. So if the value is empty, then we will do something. So that is, so let's say alert, and please enter the first name. So submit, and you can see the alert. But we don't want that. We want to add an error to it. So first name dot class list and dot add. So you will add a class to it. So is invalid, and this is a Bootstrap class. Now if we submit it, you can see it is red now. But now we need to add some message here as well. So first name dot parent element, and we need to store it. So let parent. So the parent element is this one. So this is the input element and its parent is this div. So we are doing this so that we come here and through this we select this div. So here we will show the error. So it has 3 elements. This div has 3 elements. So 0, 1, 2. So this div will be the third element. So let's select it. So let error div is equal to parent dot children, and the children is second one. So we are selecting this second element. So now if I console.log it and error div, and let's see console and submit. So you can see this div here, which is this div. So we will add a class to it. So now let's remove this one. So error div dot class list dot add, and here we will add the bootstrap class and will it feedback, and here to this div we will add the message as well. So error div dot inner HTML is equal to, so here you can write your message. So please enter first name. So please enter the first name. So this will be shown in that div. Now if we submit it, you can see, and it is not working due to some reason. So we have spelling mistake here, one extra D. Now if I submit it, you can see the message. So first name, so this is red, and we have a message here as well. So please enter the first name. Now we can do something else. So if it is not, so else we can do something else. If it is not empty, so we need to remove these classes. Okay. So what we can do is we are adding this invalid class here. So we will say first name dot class list and dot remove. So we will remove this invalid class. So is invalid, and from this error div we will remove this and we will do this. So now let me copy all of this code and paste it here, and we will change it. So we are selecting the parent element and then the error div, and then what we will do, we will remove this class. So remove, and this will be empty. So if it is valid, we will not give any message. And here, so we can see, and now we submit it again, then it is okay. So now let's add the class. So error div dot class list dot add. So we will add another class. So is invalid. So at this time we will add the valid because this is the valid input. So now if I submit it, you can see the error message and it is red. But if I write something here and then submit it, then you should see this green tick. But okay, so it should be in the element, not in the error div. So that is the first name. So let's do it again. Now you can see this green tick. So That means this field is valid. So now we can do the same thing, copy and paste it and just change the first name and the last name and everything like this. So if I copy it and paste it here, and then I need to change these things, but we are repeating the same code here again and again, so we will not do that. So I will remove this one, and here I will write two functions. So outside of this, I will write two functions. So one will be the error and the other will be the valid feedback. So let's say function and show error, and this show error will receive two values. So one is the element, the second one will be the message. So element, and the second one is the message. And now as we are showing error, so I will copy this code from here and paste it here, and instead of first name I will write the element, and that's it. Now I will create another function, that is show valid feedback or show valid anything you can see, and here the same thing. So element, and we don't need the message, so we will get only the element. So now let's copy this code from here and to here, and instead of first name I will write the element. So element and element and element. So now let me remove this code from here. So what we will do, if it is empty, then we will say show error, and the element is so first name, and the message is please enter first name, and it will do the same thing. So now if I submit it, it will do the same thing. And now if I write something here and submit it again, then it is valid. So both of our functions are working. Okay. So now let me remove this one as well, and here show valid and the first name. So now let's check it again. To submit, we can see the error, write something here and submit, and it is valid. Okay. Now we already defined these methods, these functions. So we need just to check about these other elements. So let's check them. So let me remove this, copy and paste this, and instead of first name I will write here last name. So now we can validate the second element, the last name as well, and we need to do the same thing for the other inputs as well. So if I submit it, now you can see errors on first name and last name. So now let's do the same thing for the email as well. So here I will write email, and then for the first one. Now if I submit it, now you can see the errors on all of the input elements. So now if the form is valid, so now let's write something here. So first name is, let's say, John, and Smith, and let's say John at gm.com, and password is 1234 something. Now if I submit it, everything is okay. So here let's create another variable error. So let errors is equal to false. So let's say false. So if we come here, so you can see here we will say errors is equal to true because we have errors. And here if it is valid, then what we will do, errors is equal to false. So here we can write the condition. So if errors, so if we have errors, do nothing, or you can say, you can give any other feedback. So let's say we have div or not here. So okay, we have another div here. So error div. So I will create this one. So let and error div. So and here let's say this one. So if we have an error, so what we will do, here on the top we will show a message. So errors, and what was the name? So error d is equal to dot inner HTML is equal to something. Please enter the required fields. Now if I submit it, you can see this error. Now you can see we need to write here the alert. So there we can see that one is a danger. So error d dot class list dot add, and we have now alert. So we need to add alert danger. Now if I submit it, you can see please enter the required fields with this red background. So now what we can do, if there are no errors, so let me copy it from here and paste it here. So the inner HTML will be empty, and we will remove this class. So remove, and now if we have error, so we can see all the errors. So now quickly write something here. So gm.com, Now the error is gone. Okay. So here if we don't have any error, so here you can write your code and send the request to the server to save your data and things like that. If you have errors, so you will not come here. So in this way you can validate your forms. So now let's add something else. So now when we click the submit button, we can see the error. But there is another way as well. So let's say first name dot add event listener, and here you will see key of. So when we write something here and we click key of, so what we will do, we will check it. So first name, so let me copy and paste it. So copy and paste it here. So now if we write something here, so you can see this will be called on the key of. So this is valid. So why is that important? Because let's say you want to, the first name should be between 6 to 10 characters, and if you exceed it or if you have less characters, then you can give the feedback and show the error. Another thing is you can, now if we write something here, so let's say if it is empty, then you can see the error. So now when we press the key, then we see the feedback. But let's say we don't want to annoy the user, so here we will write focus on key of. So focus out, and here we can see we are not getting any feedback until we leave this input field. So if I leave it, you can see the valid feedback, and if I make it empty, you can't see anything. But if I leave it, then you will see the error message. But on key of, it depends on the key. So if I write something here, it is valid. If I remove it, it is invalid. So it depends on you, what is your requirement and what do you like. So you can create the form validation according to your requirements and needs. So whether you like it this way or whether you like it this way when you submit it. So whichever you like it, you can validate your form. Okay, so now let's add some more conditions to it. So let's say else if the first name, so first name dot value dot trim, so we will trim the, and then length, so the length, so if the length is less than 6 characters, then we will show an error that that must be at least 6 characters. And let's add another condition. So else if first name dot value dot trim dot length is greater than, so let's say 10 characters, then we will see that it should be less than 10 characters. So now let's check it. So now you can see the errors. So if I type here, okay, so this message is not changing. So let me see. So here we need to replace it by this message. So message, and now if I write something here, so you can see first name must be at least 6 characters. So now if I write 6 characters, it should be valid, as you can see. And if I write more than 10 characters, then it should be invalid. And you can see first name must be less than 10 characters. So in the similar way, you can add some other validations to it. So it depends on your requirement. So let's say you want this to check if it is a valid email or not. So you can add the validations to the email. And similarly, you can choose whether you want to use the key F or the focus out, or you want to show the errors when you submit the form like this. So it is your choice and depends upon your requirement. So that's all about form validation, and see you in the next video.